Welcome back, guys, to another video. We got several big things right now because we have to talk about Tesla and their autonomous driving technology. People are talking about the Apple car lately, so we will also talk about this in this video. And let's talk about the Indian Gigafactory, which may actually happen sometime this year or next year, which makes it super exciting because the Indian market is huge. They're trying to push for electric vehicles at this current moment. There's not really that many electric vehicles to be sold in India, so Tesla's market will be really big over there, and they could definitely increase sales and make more money. And right now, Tesla is churning out some of the coolest things. You do have ARK Investment Management CEO Cathie Wood, who pretty much has one of the best funds on Wall Street, is saying how Tesla is taking a page out of Apple's books and making its own chip, their own self-driving chip more specifically. Apple is trying to make their own car as well. They're trying to make their own self-driving vehicle, which hasn't really started yet. I mean, it was Project Titan that was rumored several years ago, but let's see what happens because there are some analysts out there saying how the Apple car will absolutely destroy Tesla. I don't really think that's the case. I think people are just simply saying how Apple's software will be much better than Tesla's, but in reality, I think Tesla's cars will be way better in terms of the autopilot, the software, AI, and safety. Now, whether or not Apple will be able to make a self-driving car is a whole different story, but just the fact that Tesla is so far ahead in the autopilot department that it's almost impossible to catch up. And Apple and also other companies right now are having an extremely difficult time because Tesla developed its own wave of infrastructure for self-driving. They're making their own chips for self-driving instead of going with the LiDAR systems route that uses reflections, sensors, and lights. And by the way, if you go the LiDAR route, you're going to be relying on a lot of third-party companies for your LiDAR equipment. That takes a lot of capital and a lot of cash. And a lot of cars that use LiDAR, they do struggle to get enough parts ready for the vehicles. And Musk has said multiple times about how LiDAR is not the way and how LiDAR is way too expensive. Tesla uses a camera-based option that has been super successful. I mean, a lot of people seem to like it. If you look at the FSD beta, it has improved tremendously since its introduction back in October 2020. And the FSD beta over the next few months, a lot of people started noticing how good it was. And they also update the software every 5 to 10 days, which is pretty important. Tesla has also gained a ton of experience and data that money simply just cannot buy. And all these miles being wrapped up makes Tesla's Autopilot the best out there. If you're thinking about some sort of a robotaxi in the next couple years, you're probably going to have to look at Tesla because their robotaxi network and also their miles they have accumulated has really added up. And Musk has also said multiple times how about the end of 2021, they want to be reaching full autonomy, whereas most cars right now are trying to reach level 2 or level 3, so they're super far behind. Tesla has over 3 billion miles driven in autopilot around May of 2020. Cathie Wood is saying that at this current moment, Tesla has roughly 20 billion real-world miles racked up. That makes their autopilot system way more experienced than their competitors. Google only has between 20 and 50 million, which is extremely tiny. And I could say for sure that Google is probably one of the biggest rivals against the Tesla Autopilot. But Google only has a small fraction of the amount of miles driven compared to Tesla's. The more miles driven, the better. And Apple is going to be having a very hard challenge to solve with this autopilot issue because you're going to be needing a lot of time and effort and a lot of people to rack up these miles. And by the way, a lot of these companies, they're really good in autonomous driving. I'm not going to say they're bad. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of improvement in a lot of the third-party autonomous driving companies, Google, and maybe even Apple. But at the end of the day, I think Tesla is the clear winner right here because they're already trying to develop full self-driving way before anyone else. And Tesla started electric vehicles, batteries, and autopilot when no one really took all that stuff seriously. So they already have this massive head start that when you compare it to other companies out there, you just cannot piece them together. So let's see what happens. I'm really excited to see if Tesla can launch the full self-driving software with level 5 autonomy by the end of this year, because if they do, we could be seeing robotaxis driving around without anybody in the vehicle. And I really love to see a robotaxi network because when you buy a Model 3 for $40,000 or $48,000 more specifically, if you buy the Autopilot, you could actually make money from a vehicle by simply renting it out as a robotaxi. You can make like $10,000-$20,000 a month by putting it into the ride-hail group. And guess what? When Tesla has this robotaxi network that's being set up by their own customers, Tesla gets a cut every time the robotaxi network has picked up a passenger. So it pretty much is a ride-hail company, which makes it super big. So I'm really excited to see what Tesla has to offer. I think this robotaxi network will most likely start off in Las Vegas and then slowly transition to other cities around the country and possibly around the globe. But 2021 will be a really incredible year. I also have a feeling that the autonomous driving software will definitely increase dramatically in the price. Recently, we saw the software increase from $8,000 to $10,000. We may be seeing the software increase from $10,000 to $12,000. So if you guys haven't gotten the autonomous driving tech, you may want to buy it right now. It's 10 grand. It's super expensive, but it may be super worth it in the long term. Now, Tesla is also implementing a subscription-based service, which is also pretty smart, meaning that, let's say this month, you want the autonomous robotaxi network, you turn it on and you get Autopilot. I think in the future, let's say this month in the wintertime when you're just staying at home, a full month of not driving your car, you could subscribe to the autonomous driving software and your car be a robotaxi for a month and it will make some money for you in that 30 days. I think that's a pretty smart move, and Tesla could definitely be super flexible with their subscription service, and this is pretty awesome. Last but not least is the Indian Gigafactory. We're finally towards the end of the video, and at this current moment, we're seeing a lot of rumors and leaks about how Tesla may be moving to India. Now, Tesla wants to be launching their Model 3s, which are like 70,000 USD, and these vehicles will be launched around Q1 of 2021 this year. So these vehicles, it's like testing the waters. Local government officials in India have revealed several details and leaks about talks with Tesla executives. This is a lot more rumors and leaks than we expected, and Tesla has officially incorporated a business in India. That's also pretty big. So they're actually taking this pretty seriously and not very loosely. Several years ago, we have heard rumors, little leaks here and there about how Tesla could be setting up like a battery factory or some sort of a retail facility over there. It never happened until now. I think at this current moment, the Indian government is offering huge incentives to their customers and also their citizens, saying, hey, if you buy an electric vehicle, we will actually give you this certain amount of money. We'll give you some tax breaks, because over there, electric vehicles aren't super popular at this current moment. So adding incentives for people to go electric will be really great. And also, the automaker is trying to establish some local manufacturing to sell more cars, possibly even open up a Gigafactory. And there's also talks about how Tesla is looking to invest in building a factory in India. So that's big. I mean, they want to set up a second Gigafactory in Asia. Let them do it. It's going to be super interesting to see what Tesla is doing. I will love to see a Gigafactory pop up in a brand new country. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and comment below.